Now I am going to integrate the Paystack with my Laravel application. So I am going to create a Laravel application now. Okay. So in order to create a Laravel application, I am going to desktop. In this location, I will install a fresh Laravel here. So I am going to my terminal now. I am going to open my terminal now. So here cd desktop, and here I am going to use the composer command to create Laravel. So composer create project, then Laravel, and then here I am going to give Paystack. So a fresh Laravel is going to be installed in my desktop. Just wait for some times. So the Laravel installation is done. Now I am going into the folder. So cd, then Paystack. So Paystack is selected. It is actually installed here, right? So this is Paystack. All the files are here. So I enter into here, that is cd Paystack. Then I am going to run php artisan serve. Then a server is running now, and this is the server, and this is the fresh Laravel installation main home page. Okay, this page comes. So now I am going to my VS Code editor and going to open this Paystack folder into here. Okay, and here you see there is a web route. This is important. I will use this route. And also you see into the resources, views, welcome. In welcome there are many codes that is actually showing in the output of this page, that is in the main home page. So I am going to remove all the codes. If I remove all this, if I refresh it now, you see there is nothing, so it is blank. So in the welcome.blade.php, now I am going to put my codes. Okay, so I am just going to create a plain HTML, and here and here document. Here I am going to use Laravel Paystack integration, for example. And here in the body I will put some codes. But here it is important how I will use this. Remember that in this Laravel application I will actually not use any package. I will just read the documentation, and then I will use the codes they give me. So here for testing purpose, product name, product, for example laptop, I am just going to write here that is the product. Okay, and then I am going to use here price. So price is equal to, for example, Nigerian NGN, 10 NGN or something like that. And after that I will have to write a button. But how I can use the button I will show you later, but for now you see this is working. Product is this, price is this. Now in order to implement it, I am going to do some basic task here that will be needed for me. That is, I am going to create a route that is actually callback route. So here I am going to create a get route that is callback, and here is Paystack controller class, and here for example callback is the name of the function, and then the route name route I am going to give it a callback. And similarly I am going to use another one that is success, and then I am going to use another one that is cancel. So here I am going to use the cancel like this, and in the top I will have to call it. So this is Paystack controller. Okay, so I will have to create a controller. I am going to terminal php artisan make controller, and then Paystack controller. So controller is created here. So this is my controller, and here I am going to create now. I am going to create a migration file, php artisan make migration, and then create payments table. I am going to create actually a table, that is the payments table. When a person will successfully pay using the Paystack, then the information I will save into my database table. So I am going to create a table that's name is payments table. So for that reason I am going to create a migration file first. So migration file is created and it is created into the database migrations folder, and here this is the file. And here I am going to give the fields name, for example string, table string, this is payment ID, this is important, and then another one is for example the quantity, and if you want you can give here the amount, and another important is currency, and another important thing here is product name, for example product name. And after currency I can give here that is payment status, and then another one will be for example payment method. Now I am going to run PHP artisan migrate. It is not working. What has happened? Access denied. Okay, so here I will have to change that env file, and in the env file I will have to give the name of the database. My database name will be here Paystack. Okay, and here my root password, that means my user password is root, so username is root and password is root. So I am going to run the code again. Now you see it is asking me if it will create any table by the name of Paystack for me, so I am going to select on yes. Okay, so two things happened. One is a table has been created, a database has been created, and then a table has also been created here. So let's check it. PHP my admin, I am going here, and you will see a Paystack database is created and then a payments table is created here, but there is no information here, but all the field names you see that I gave that are showing here: payment ID, product name, quantity, amount, currency, status and method. Okay, so this portion is done. Now I am going to create a model, PHP artisan make model, and payment is the model because my table name is payments, so I create a model here. So this is okay. Now I am going to close these things. Okay, here is this is the Paystack controller, and in the top as I created the model payment, so I can use the model here, app models payment, and here I am going to write public function callback. So here request here like this. Okay, so in this callback function I am going to write some codes, but in the developer I am actually going to the documentation. So let's search by Paystack documentation. I am searching Google, and this is the doc. I am going to open it here, and the documentation there is a payments. I am going here, and you see accept payments. I am going to the accept payments link, and there you see they are telling you how to use the code, so how to accept the payment. This one is first one. I am going to copy the full code from here. This is the HTML they tell me, so my HTML is welcome.blade, so here I am going to paste it. Big gap here, so I am reducing the gap now. You see there is the email address. I am actually not going to use anything. Email address, amount, I will not give input from here, so I am going to remove it. First name also I am going to remove it. Also last name I am going to remove it. Only the form submit is okay, and there will be a button that is okay and perfect for now. These items is like this. This is a button, and pay, here I edit pay with Paystack. Okay, so pay with Paystack is perfect. So here you see this is the form ID. I do not I don't define any route here, just use their system, because there is a script here inline.js from the Paystack. And another code that is very important I will use here, that is, they tell me a JavaScript code here. So JavaScript code I am going to copy from here, and then in here in the bottom I am going to use a script and paste it here, and this is the JavaScript code. So I am going to use it here like this, reducing the gap here. Okay, so I am going to reduce the gap. Now it looks good, and this is the function. So I am going to give a tab to look like the code well. Okay, here you see there is a reference and generates a pseudo unique reference. It is actually not needed for me, I can remove it. Level not needed. You see there is a price here. You see here I put the price and product name here. So instead of doing that, you can easily put the price straight here. Okay, so amount you can use the direct amount here, that is 10 into 100. That means it is actually like this. So just remember that you will have to multiply it with 100. So this is important. So key is here public key, but here what will be the public key? The public key actually is like that. What is the public key? The public key is in the env file. I will have to use Paystack public key. So here what will be the Paystack public key? I will have to write it here. And another one is Paystack secret key. When I created an account in the Paystack, you know here there was API key and webhooks. So public key is this. I am going to copy it and paste it here in the public key section. And there is a secret key. I show it here, then copy it, and this is my secret key. Okay. And another important thing here to mention is test callback URL. You see this is my main URL. I am going to copy it, and here I will have to set up the URL and then callback link. So callback, because after URL callback is my link here, because if you go to the web.php you see route callback. Whatever you write here, that you will have to give here. So remember that after working in the local development environment, when you will go to upload the project on your web server, then you will have to come in the Paystack here and you will have to change the URL by your main website URL, otherwise it will not work. So remember it. So okay, this callback save changes, it is automatically save change is done, so you do not actually need to click here, it is already saved. So it will work now. So now here I am going back to my welcome here in this place. So instead of writing the key here like this, what I will write here, I am going to call the environment variable. That means like this. So Paystack public key, that it will take from here, because all the environment variable I can show using the env function. So here I just put my key here, and there you see there is a email, and instead of writing the email like this, I can straight call my email here. So like this. So key, email, amount, etc. are given here. And there is a one close function, you see alert window close. If you click to close the window, it will be closed. And callback, this is the main important thing, and there is a reference and alert they give you here. So every other things I think it is okay. Now I am going to run the application. Okay, you see the button comes here. If I click here, a pop-up is going to come here. Yes, so it is working. So transfer USSD many options. I am going to use the card. I can just click on success, pay NGN 10, payment is successful. You see payment complete, reference ID. So this is actually showing me in the alert box, and only the response reference I am going to see here. But I want to show all the response data. So how I can do that? I am going to make it like this, and in the alert, for example, in the alert I am going to show all the data, right? So JSON, it is actually an object, so I am going to stringify it. So JSON stringify, then response. Now let's check how it looks like. I am going to do this again. Now if I click on success, pay, you will see payment successful and all the reference come here. You see there is a redirect URL, right? This is, you see, this is redirect URL. So this is very important. I will have to use this now. So redirect URL, you see message is equal to approved, you see the status is success. So every data you will get in your hand in this position. So okay, instead of showing it alert, I am just going to send it to another URL. So how I can send it to another URL? There is a window.location.href. So it is actually the code to send someone into another page or another URL we use in JavaScript, that is window.location.href. And in the URL I will have to call the main callback URL, and then I will concat, that is response.redirect URL, that I already have shown you in the JSON stringify in that section. Okay, so here my callback route I will have to call, that is my route that was callback, you know. So when I call the route callback, actually this URL will come that I set up here, this link, and after that the redirect URL will be concatenated, that means this one. So let's check it where it goes. It will actually go to in this function, that is callback. So here I can show something, for example the request. So I can show the request. So request all, I am going to show it here, all the requests I will receive here. Okay, now let's do it again, refresh, and if I click here, success, pay, you will see in the top it is taking me to this function, callback function, and in the top this is automatically added. That was the value of the redirect URL. So here I am going to get the reference and going to get the transaction reference. Both the items value are same. I will have to use with the reference now. Okay, so just remember that I will have to use with the reference here. So how I will get the reference? That is request of reference. So my reference, it will be actually the request of reference. So this is my reference. So how I will use it? I am going back to the documentation that was given here, accept payments, and you see there is a verify payments. I am going to the verify payments section, and here I will have to use the code. Instead of curl, I am going to select the PHP, and the CURL code is going they are giving me. So I am going to just copy all the codes that was given here, and here I am going to paste it. Now I am going to make it formatted, so like this. Okay, I am going to reduce the gap. So curl, error curl I can show, or I am not going to show any error in the curl now. Okay, so echo response, so I am going to remove all this. And here I am going to use the response equal to JSON decode of response. Okay, so this one I am going to show you now, that is response. So like this, and here it is telling me to give the secret key. You see, authorization bearer, it is secret key. So here I am going to give secret key this variable, and that variable I am going to define in the top, that is secret key equal to env. I have env variable where there is secret key, Paystack secret key. It is actually I defined here. This one I am going to call here, that is Paystack secret key, and this one I pass here. And here you see the curl opt URL is equal to this URL verify, and this reference actually is a value that I am going to concat with my reference variable reference, because in the reference I have the reference ID, so that one I have to use in this location. So all the tasks I think is okay, and it should work without any hassle. So so let's check it, what is I am going to receive here. So just refresh. You will see by this data I am going to give I am going to get all the data here, and message is verification successful, status true, and you see in the data there is a status success. That means the transaction is successful. And reference is this, you will get all the data from here. So here I am going to get the currency, then the reference. So as the payment ID I can use the reference, but in the response I am going to check one thing here, that is if the response, or here I am going to, okay, no problem, if the response data status. So let's check it, response data status equal to success. So if response data status equal to success, then I will have to write some code here, else there will be a cancel. So redirect route will be cancel. Here you see I use the callback function. I have two more functions, that is public, then function, then success, and here after that there will be public function cancel. So here it will be this, when it will be cancelled, so return payment is cancelled, and if success, then return then payment is successful. Okay, so when everything is success, I will return redirect to the success route. So here it will be successful, and here you see cancel, and this is success, that is okay. Now when it will be success, then I am going to do one thing, that is I am going to call the payment, this eloquent model, this is name is payment, and I am going to define here a new payment object equal to new payment, and object of here payment ID. I am going now to save the data into the database. So response data reference, or I can straight use the reference because it is in my hand. Then after that object of next one is product name. Okay, so I am going to come with it later. Then after that there is quantity, then object of amount. What is the amount? How I can get the amount here? The amount here is this data amount, but I will have to divide it by 100 in order to get the actual amount. So here there is a response data amount, and then divided by 100. After amount there is currency, that is response data currency. You see that this is the currency engine. Okay, there are some metadata, you see this is the metadata here, and some log and authorization. There is some codes for the card. If you need the card information or other information, you can also get that from here. Now I am going to do one thing, that is the currency. After the currency, I am going to the table, product name, quality, amount, currency, payment status, and payment method. Here payment status, if you want, you can use the success, no problem, or payment status you can write it manually, that is completed. Whatever you want, you can do it. And another one is payment method. Payment method is Paystack. So Paystack, and this is the payment method. So now I will have to use some extra fields in order to get the product name and quantity here. How I can do that? If you go to the verify payment here, no, here when I use this in order to get all the request, so like this actually, already it is sorry, request of reference, here DD response, not here, actually here. When the payment was successful, then actually what happened, here you see there were some metadata. So under the metadata, I can add some custom fields here into the welcome.blade in this location. So after the amount, I can use, that is metadata. So in the metadata, I can use some custom fields like this. So custom metadata, then custom fields, this is an array, and then here you can use the display name, variable name, value. In this way you can give some information. So the value is actually not mobile number here, it is actually my product name. So here laptop is the product name. So here the display name, what it will display is, for example, laptop, and here I am going to give the variable name laptop. Okay, so this is one field. I can use here multiple fields, that can be quantity, quantity can be another one, variable name quantity, and value equal to, for example, 1. So let's do it now. I am going back and again going to pay using the Paystack, and now success pay ngn, and then okay, it comes here, and then I am going to the metadata. So in the metadata you see there are custom fields, one is 0 and another one is 1, right? So this metadata information I will have to get from here, from 0 and 1. So let's go here in this, and here I will have to get the data from the metadata and in this position. Now let's check the metadata and put it here. And now in order to do that, I am going to work with something in the response, what I actually get here in the case of metadata. Okay, so here response of metadata. So let's check response of metadata value. From here I am going to refresh. What happened? Data, it is actually the response of data of metadata, right? Response of data of metadata here. Okay, into metadata there is custom fields. So let's check it. Response data metadata, and then custom fields. So if I want to see this information, yes, it comes, and this is an array, so this type of. Okay, now what I will do, I am going to take all the information and put it into a variable. For example, it can be metadata equal to this. Okay, so all these things I am going to stop now to show what is actually the metadata. I am again going to show you metadata. Now I am going back, refresh, Paystack, success, you see in the metadata I have one is 0, another is 1. If you give here a straight 0, then the first one you will receive. So refresh, you will see first one. Then I have display name, variable name. I actually need the value, right? So here I can easily give it a value. So if I refresh, you will see the value is laptop. So this one is okay. After this I am going to remove it. It is not needed from here. So I am going to make it enabled again. So okay. So response data metadata custom fields I take into a variable, and this metadata or 0 of value, and another one quantity will be metadata 1 of value. So my task is actually completed now. So let's check it from the beginning. Okay, it looks, the code now looks very good. Okay, perfect. Now I am going back again, and finally I am going to check it. But before going to check, I am going to here transactions, do not save. You see all the transactions that was happened as a test transaction here, and here in the table you see this is empty. I am going to change the amount so that I can understand. So in the welcome.blade here I am going to give here 1500. Okay, so here it will be 15 NGN. So now let's do it. Here refresh, 15 NGN, pay with Paystack, then success, pay, payment successful. Yes, payment is successful showing. Now if I go to my table, refresh, you see payment ID is this, product name, quantity, amount, currency NGN, payment status completed, payment method is Paystack. Everything is working here. And also if I go to see the transaction history, you will see now another one will come here, NGN 15. You see NGN 15 comes now. Right now this is the reference or transaction ID that was actually saved here. Same ID, this one, and here this one.